Okay.
just so that that I have all of this data, because other people are going to want to see this as well.
Yes.
All right.
So we
So
wait
you want
then?
to create a
Would it be better to
no,
wait?
no, no. We can go ahead and do this. And
Okay.
if someone wants to get the video link, they'll see it, because
Okay.
there's a lot of questions that'll probably come up, in the meeting, and we'll make sure that we address those as well. All right.
Okay.
So you log in. You're going to log into the management section. You're going
Right.
to go into the fitness tools.
Right.
Inside of the fitness tools, you have workouts that are already existing in the system that we
Right.
have written and loaded. You have the ability to add equipment, which we just talked about, and you
Right.
have the ability to add activities. Well, activities is anything that you're doing that's part of a workout. An activity can be a chest press, a push-up, anything that you can't find in the system already, you can add.
Right.
So you would go into the activity area, and you would search to see if the activity is there. So I can go into resistance training, and I can type in squat and search for all of the activities that would include the word squat, and you can see where all of these exercises, now there's 6 pages or 171 exercises, include the keyword squat.
Right.
And that's on every piece of equipment, every brand. So you can see we have a lot in our system right now. But if this is a brand new video that you wanted to produce, and let's just say that it's a 30-minute boot camp video that you want to create, you know it's not in there because you haven't added it. So you're going to go to add new activity. And in that activity, and then you're going to make it resistance training. So if it's a boot camp, it's going to be resistance training. Even if it's body weight resistance, it's resistance training.
Gotcha.
And then you're going to put in that in this particular case, it would be full body.
Right.
Or if you happen to do a video that was just a core workout, you can put core or
Right.
lower legs or whatever is appropriate you can do. So you can have a lower body, upper body, full body, or a specific muscle group that you wanted to do a video on. You can also sequence exercises together, which we've seen a couple people do, where they'll do like a lateral raise, and then they'll lean forward, and they'll do the raise again, but it's more of a fly, and so you can do like a 3-step exercise as well.
Gotcha.
So in adding this video that we're talking about, you would put it in as a full body video. You would call the video whatever you want. So you can do it, I am living fit,
Right.
30-minute boot camp.
Right.
And then the manufacturer in that particular case is likely to be just body weight.
Right.
And then you would select the equipment body weight, and then you would put in a description of whatever you wanted to talk about with regard to describing that workout program.
Gotcha.
So then what you would end up doing is you would shoot your video, and you can see that it can be either YouTube or Vimeo. Actually, this one only says YouTube. It's possible so you'd create a YouTube channel of your own.
Right.
You would put the video link in here, and then you would hit add activity, and you would probably save that to your company and location. I'm logged in as a location manager right now, so I don't have the other option, but you would.
Right.
You would save it to your company and locations, and then everybody so now you have that activity in the system. So now you're going to go back to the workout, and you're going to add a new workout, and you're going to call it whatever you want to call it, 30-minute boot camp. And then when you get to the point of adding the activity in the system, you're going to add only that 30-minute video as the sole activity for that workout program. So if you wanted to have a different 30-minute video for Wednesday and a different 30-minute video for Friday, you can have a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sequence, and you can put in the various videos for any different day, and then build it out as a 6-week or a 12-week program where they're getting different videos every day. And you could change them up, or you could make this third week, you could add in a new exercise. And so you can shoot 2, 3, 4, 10 different videos, and then you're going to be putting them into different days so that people have variety in their workout. And you're basically creating like a P90X, but with unique videos each day.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Complete sense.
Yeah. So you can do both. And so when somebody goes into their My Plan and they go into the workout program and they select the workout program for the 30-minute video, the only thing that's going to come up is one block that says resistance training and says 30-minute, whatever you called it.
Right.
And then when they click on that video, of course, that one, I don't have it. I know I have a treadmill video. It's just not in here yet.
Yeah, I got it.
So it'll play the video, but it'll play the 30-minute video. And if they want to put it on their TV screen, they can do that too. This is obviously only a very short 4-second video, but you obviously can play this as a 30-minute video too. And then you can put your description and your alignment and movement and technique. You're just going to put something in there that makes sense. And under your primary muscles work, you would say core or lower body or upper body or whatever made sense for that particular video. Make sense?
Absolutely. Perfect. That was actually one of the questions that I did have for you. Instead of individual movement patterns, could you just, shoot a video and then how would they find it? So that was actually
same. Yeah, that's how you do it. And then you can just put in a different video each day so there's good variety.
Right.
And, in the 3rd and 4th and 7th week, you can add more complex movements because the person's going to be getting stronger. And you can even shoot a series of videos where the person that's doing the conversation says, okay, we want to get 10 reps and, count through the reps and, do that with the client basically. And then do another video and, okay, we're going to get, 15 reps today. And so you can put that 15 rep video in the 2nd or the 3rd week where you're wanting them to push a little harder and get a little bit more variety. But you literally could have a different video every day and then go through a progression of 12 weeks where you have a different video each of the days. So if you're already teaching a boot camp, videotape you doing that,
right,
and then split that video up into multiple segments and put a segment in each day.
Right. Those video that length, there's no the system will play that video for the length of time the video is played. There's no timeout feature or anything like that.
No, it'll play the video as long as the video is.
Okay. And
now, obviously, the user can come in and they could pause it just like I can pause this video.
Of course, right. And just a different question off topic of what this work is this is a mobile responsive platform. Is there any consideration of it working with creating an app to this, or is this just going to stay mobile because of the complexity?
Okay, so I think your question is this going to be a native app versus a responsive code app?
Correct.
Okay. And the answer is we're in the process right now. In fact, I'll pull up another screen that I was just working on. We're doing an extensive amount of work that you won't know that this is a native app or a responsive code because we're literally going through every screen and making it work as if it looks like an app on the mobile phone.
Okay.
And we also have created the capability of downloading an icon that you can download to your phone and click on the icon on the phone, and it'll log you in automatically to the credentials of your website, and it basically will look and act like an app. And my explanation on that is apps became super popular because you could put them into your phone, you could buy them through the iTunes or the Google store or the iOS store.
Right.
The problem with that is you're trying to charge a fee. Mm-hmm. And Apple and Android take a 30% fee of that fee.
Right.
So what's happening in the industry, and it's the same thing that happened with software, is if you recall 10 years ago when you wanted to buy Windows or Microsoft Office with Excel and Word and all the other programs, you had to buy it as a CD-ROM, load it on your computer. It took up an extensive amount of your hard drive, and you had to buy upgrades every time that you wanted to upgrade to the next model,
Right.
the next run. Same thing is happening on the internet. When you download any of your mobile apps, have you ever paid attention to how much volume of information that it uses of your hard drive? They're getting quite extensive. Well, in our application, that's extraordinary large amount of data that you would have to download in a native app in order to get it to work properly. So same thing is going to be applying to apps. Is there's going to be downloadable icons that is called a web app. And then when you download the web app to your phone, you'll have the information on your phone that saves your login. And when you log in, it looks and acts like everything else. Same thing that happened with the software development is now happening with the internet, where everything is going and moving to the cloud. And so as it's moving to the cloud, people are not going to be, native apps are going to become less and less and less the premium. It's going to be downloadable from the cloud, that you can access anything from your phone by having the icon that then downloads it through the phone automatically, and doesn't have to take up a tremendous amount of storage space on your phone to do it.
Gotcha.
So that's a long explanation to say that our stuff will look like a phone very shortly. It's in we're working on that right now. In fact, we're hiring a person to do nothing but that.
Okay, awesome.
So I see Ed's joined, and I assume that that's either Robert or Ryan from Just Got Fit?
Yeah, it's all of us. We're
all of us?
Yeah.
Okay, and I see, and Bonnie's already on. She's been very quiet so far.
So felt like I was interrupting on another meeting. I apologize.
No, he just came in early, and we wanted to cover a couple of things, and I'm sure that what we were talking through was interesting to you as well.
It was.
Okay, so now that we've got a bigger audience, I will stop talking about I Am Living Fit for just a second here, and ask everybody, what do you want to learn today?
Wow.
And one of the things that we already covered with Latif was is there the ability to record a 30-minute video, like a boot camp style, and load that into the system? And I've already gone through that entirely before.
No.
Say that again? Oh, I think we might be picking up somebody else talking in the background there. Okay, so I did already go through creating the capability where you can download a boot camp style 30-minute video and how you can load it into the system, and it is recorded, and I'll send that out to everybody when we finish this meeting. But go ahead and let me know if you want to receive this meeting notes at the end of the meeting.
Unless you see something really outrageous, but
okay, I've got somebody that's got some background talk. If somebody's in your office, can you just mute yourself?
But I asked Spence.
All right, it was Ed, so he's muted now.
Yeah, Robert was muted by the host. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Well, sometimes they can do it themselves, but anyway, he must not have realized that he was not muted. Anyway, so what do you guys want to learn today?
I have a quick question about a single topic, access codes. And
okay.
Can I generate an access code that that I can put, say, on the back of a business card that I just have available with me?
You can generate a list of access codes, but once an access code is used, it's garbage.
Okay,
so you can't use one code and have a bunch of people logging into a single code.
Right.
And the reason for that is, in a corporate wellness environment, if somebody loads it and then shares it with their buddy Joe and their mom Sue, you've got all kinds of people that you're paying for that aren't paying you. So we've created the system that once the access code is used, it's no longer valid. You can go in and create with your email, especially if you use like a Gmail account as an example. You can go into the access code, you can go into a location, and you can create emails at your Gmail address, and you can create as many of those as you want. But so you'd want to create a separate email address. Just as an example, you would just do an email address like just got fit, something that's generic at gmail.com. And then if you go in now, you can create multiple email or access codes by putting +1. And then in the next line down, putting +2. And every one of those plus signs, 1, 2, 3, 4 through 187 or 2000, whatever you want it to do, are valid emails. And if somebody responds to those emails, it'll go into that email account. So what'll end up happening is that you're going to get, once you hit submit and you have, 20 of these in there, it's going to send you 20 emails to that email account that give you links that people could access and create an account inside of your system. So you can do this, and these are valid emails, this plus whatever you want to put there, and it can be 001, 002, 003 through 999, and those will all be valid emails. So you can carry around a spreadsheet or however else makes sense for you to have those available to you. So you could have a spreadsheet in your pocket, and if you give one to somebody, you cross it off and you know that one's no longer valid. Then what's nice about our system is when you log into the backend management tools, any of the access codes that you created, so you would create a free trial access code, or you may have different access codes for different locations. Whatever is going to make sense for you, you can create those access codes in multiple communities. So now if I go into locations and I go into the location that I created all of those codes for, come on, I'm under locations. Oh, you know what? I don't have. I'm in my fault. I'm under the. I don't have enough permissions to get to what I'm trying to get to, so it wasn't coming up. So hold on a second here. All right. So now I'm logging in as a manager, going to locations, going to the location that I wanted to look at. So all of the whatever location that you created those access codes for, and let me pull that up again. All right, so I've got these 3 access codes that I created, and of course this could be 300 access codes if you wanted to do it that way. So I go into my location that wherever I created those codes, I go under the access code tab. All of these access codes that are in this list are access codes that somebody has not used. So if you give out an access code, and you can set the duration of that. So coming back full circle, all of those email addresses that you're going to create at that just got fit URL in a sequence of numbers are all going to be put in here. And then you're going to say, well, how long do you want that to be? Is it a 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year code? And then you put in that they either belong to a location, so you can actually create a free trial location, or you can have a just got fit location that all of those people would go into, or you can have different codes for different locations. Like you can have a code for a gym that you frequent, and that you give out all of the people in that gym that has all the equipment that you go to, and you have a different set of access codes in that gym location. So you can have multiple locations, multiple codes, and as I told you, as soon as these codes get used, they're garbage. So as soon as a code gets used, that name disappears from this list, and so you know that that code is being used, and that person will now show up as a member of whatever community or location that you put them into. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And then Gmail, I know Gmail for sure does this. I don't know about Yahoo and some of the others, but I do know you have Gmail accounts. So you can just put a series of numbers and just make sure that you're crossing them off as you go, because if you give one to somebody that's already used it, it won't work. All right, so that answered your question. So any other questions that anyone else has?
At the end of it, if you do, say, a 1 month, what's going to happen at the end of that month?
It'll ask them to put in their credit card, and to renew their subscription. Okay. You're bringing up a point that if you're not already aware of, we never delete a member's profile. If they expire and come back a year later with that email address, their profile, and all the information that they put in a year ago will still be there.
Oh, okay.
So if someone's account does expire, they go on vacation and they don't renew until they get back, it's not, their stuff is still going to be there. All their information will be there. They just simply have to put in their credit card and renew their subscription, and they'll continue as if they never stopped.
Thank you.
Any other questions that anyone has? Is there a particular area that you guys would like me to just do an overview demonstration on? The workout programs, building nutrition modules and nutrition meals, any areas that you guys just as a group would say, yeah, let's just see a review of that area.
Don, I have one maybe to do for the group.
Okay.
Go set up a training program for someone wanting to lose weight, say a 5-day-a-week training program with weight loss, and then also basically a weight loss menu. Can you do, the simplest form of that?
Okay, so you're talking about building a workout and building a nutrition plan.
Right.
Okay. All right. So in doing that, obviously, a tremendous amount of programs already in the system, and you're welcome to use those or hide them. So you're going to be going to your fitness tools to build or modify or hide any of the programs that exist in the system. So inside of the fitness tools, you have 3 different options. You have the workout manager, the nutrition manager, and the client manager. So in building a workout program, we're obviously going to stay in the workout manager, and you have 3 tabs inside of the workout manager.
Don, could
One
you
to build.
Are you recording this?
It is recording.
Okay, great. I'm sorry.
So the first one is to modify or find an existing program that's in the system. So if I wanted to know if there's a weight loss program, I can go in here and search for general fitness or weight loss, and then I can specifically look for a weight loss and tone program. And then I can also go in to say, well, I want a weight loss and tone program that's 4 days per week. And I can search the existing programs that are in the database already. So it's found 30 programs that match all 3 of those criteria. If I don't want to know, if I want to get more than just the 4-day-a-week programs, I can search all. And so now there's 126 or 166 programs inside of the system. Now notice that in this list, first of all, it's much more convenient if you open it up and you can see 50. So you at the bottom of the screen, you can open it up to see 50 programs. Well, notice that there's quite a few of these that are labeled as trash, not available, draft, means somebody is building that program. In this particular case, Coach Woods is building a program. And I'm seeing more programs than you would see because I'm in as a super admin. So I'm seeing programs from Brock, and I'm seeing programs from Cardio Bar and programs from Coach Woods. And so all of these people are coming into my login credentials. So you may not have 166, but you'll still have quite a few of them. Any of them that are marked as available are showing up to your people. So inside of this, if I wanted to go in and look at this 4-day or 4-week program at a beginner level home, I can do this. And I'm going to show you this, Ed, is I'm going to go into an existing program, but during this process, you'll see how you can build your own program as well. So what I'm doing is I'm finding a program that's similar, and I also recommend that as well. If you're building a weight loss program, I would look at the front end of the site from a member view and look at a couple of the weight loss programs that are in there. And if you find one that you like, say, wow, that's a pretty good program, I'm going to use that one. Or you may like a program, but you would add exercises or remove exercises or change the sequence of an exercise. You can take one of those programs and modify it and resave it with your own name so that it's saved inside of your database, and then you can hide the program that you modified. So keep in mind that you can.
Don, how would you handle resistance training and cardio? Is it two separate things, or is it?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute here when we get a little bit further. You'll see that very clearly. So inside of here, I'm going to go in and I found a program that's a beginner program that I liked in general. I don't have to like every single piece of it, but that I liked it. And then I simply save and continue, and it says it's a 4-week program. There's 4 workouts per week, and the average duration is 30 minutes. And the category that this is saved under is general fitness and weight loss and fat loss and tone. I hit save again, and it then takes me to the actual program. So what you're looking at right now, Ed, is if you were to come in at the very first time and you wanted to build a program completely from scratch, you would say you would put the name of the program in, you would put how many weeks that you wanted to have that program last, 4 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks. And I have had one person that actually wrote a 52-week program where they had a baseball in season, out of season, preseason, and everything that they did for the entire year based around a baseball season. So you would put in the name of the program, how many weeks it is, and how many workouts that you have in the week. You'll see on this right-hand side here that all of these weeks open and close, so that if I open up a week, you can see that there's 27-minute workout and 20 seconds, a 30-minute workout and 0 seconds, 27 and 20, 30 and 0. And so that's the duration of each of those days. So session number 1, whether it starts on Tuesday or Monday or Saturday, whatever they've chosen, is here. Well, I can further open that session, and this brings in all of the exercises that I have in that particular day. And it looks like a daunting list here, but some of those things are very, very simple stretches or very, very simple exercises. In the back-end management, we give you an extensive amount of detail that you can make this program completely unique to that client and to what you're trying to accomplish with the equipment that you're trying to accomplish it. And that workout program could be, and as you guys get this video, you'll see what we talked about earlier, it could be one block of an activity, and that activity could be a 30 or a 60-minute boot camp, and that's all that's in this day. So when a client comes into the workout program, they're clicking on the one video, and it happens to last 60 or 30 minutes long, and it's a boot camp that gives an overall view of that boot camp for that duration of time. Or you can load it in on an exercise by exercise basis. So your question you asked a minute ago was, how did you do cardio versus flexibility versus resistance training? And so what you would do in that case is you literally would have all of these built in by category. So this is a live program, but I'll go ahead and I just won't save it. So if I'm coming in here from scratch, there's nothing in here. And so I'm going to go to add an activity. And this is a very big key that anyone who's writing a bunch of programs would want to know is you can go down to the third block under exercise name, and you can type in a keyword like squat or lunge or chest press or something that is common to what you know the exercise that you want to put in next is. And that might be treadmill, that might be whatever it might be. And you can see that it's now bringing up all of the different exercises that include that word squat that are in our very extensive database. So you can cheat the system by going right to that third block, just a tip that you can put in your brain to know, or I can go in here, Ed, and I can say, well, I want to put in a cardiovascular, a dynamic functional movement, a stretching movement. And so I'm picking the category in which that activity is going to fall under. So if I pick resistance training, just as an example, then I get to pick, well, what body part is this working? And this can be full body, as you can see at the very bottom, upper body, lower body, or chest, or bicep, or tricep, or whatever you wanted to put in. And so you're going to pick an exercise that's appropriate for whatever you're trying to add. And then now, instead of having a blank screen that I can put in anything I want, it's going to give me all of the different tricep exercises that are in the system. So if I want to do pulley, push down, standing, I can select that information, and then it's going to give me all of the pulley equipment that are in the system. And now notice that this is a suggestive alternative. So what we're doing is we're putting in what we would want them to do this exercise on. And obviously, the whole fitness industry is changing from very, very specific joint movements like a bicep curl, where all you're doing is working the bicep with a piece of equipment, into a lot more body weight, suspension, TRX straps, or whatever it might be. But anyway, so you would put in the equipment that's at your gym if you're writing this for your gym. So if you have Paramount equipment or Cybex or Matrix or whatever you have, you would put that equipment in. Now, if the gym that this person that might live 5 states away from you pulls up this particular exercise program that they wanted to use because you wrote it, and they don't have this Matrix or equipment line, it will give them options of what piece of equipment that's available in their facility that they can pick from. And I'll show you that when we get to the consumer side. Please remind me if I forget. And so you can then select, well, how many sets of that exercise do you want this person doing? If you want to superset this with another activity, you want to make sure that you check this box. The difference if I check this box is it'll bring each one of those sets in as an individual exercise that I can drag and drop that with 1 or 2 or 3 other exercises. So if I'm wanting to superset 2 exercises with little or no rest in between, I would do that as 3 sets, but I want to check this so that they come in as individual sets instead of one block that shows all 3 sets together. Then I pick the repetitions that I want this person to perform. If I want to put them at 3 sets of 12, I do it at all 12. If I want to do 10, 8, 6, or any other type of repetition amount, you can simply put that in. The warm-up set is typically between 40 and 50% of intensity, so that you're getting them to warm up, and then it will ramp up to 62% or 68% for your second and your third set. This intensity level is going to change the weight that the person is going to be lifting based on their strength test. And there's plenty of charts available if you just Google search charts on 1 rep max intensity and stuff like that, that if you're not sure of what percentages to build this out, there's a lot of charts that are out there and available that if I'm doing 6 repetitions at 84% intensity, that that basically you can model how many repetitions versus what intensity level that a person is likely to be able to perform that exercise at. And you can obviously judge that. And as you go through a program, when you get into your 3rd week and your 5th week and your 7th week, you can adjust those percentages to be higher, because all of these workout programs will adjust and correspond to their original strength test that they did when they started the program. So as they're getting stronger, they're going to be able to handle a higher volume, where you would potentially add an additional set in week 3, and you may increase the intensity percentage after the warm-up to 63 and 69 in week number 3. And in week number 5, increase it again. So you can add volume, you can add intensity, which increases the weight. You can change the tempo. So if I wanted to do my warm-up set at a very slow repetition, like a 3-0-1 tempo, I can set that and then have the rest of the tempo for my other 2 sets as a 1-0-1, or basically a quick movement down and up as quick as you can with no rest in between. So it's not sitting on your chest, as an example. And then the rest also can pull into the periodization side of things as well. In particular, if you're doing a weight loss program, a lot of people like to keep the weight loss candidates at a higher heart rate level. And so they'll do a lot of supersetting, and they'll do a lot of exercise programs where they're keeping that intensity going throughout the whole program. So if I am wanting to superset this, I would put a 15-second rest in between, allowing them enough time to get to the next exercise. And some people even say, look, we're going to put the dumbbell right next to you, and you're going to be able to go from the pulley push down to the dumbbell in a second. So I don't want any rest, and you can set it at 0. And so again, I can set up this whole thing. And then when I hit submit, it's going to push this into my program based on all of those exercises. So now if I scroll down to the very bottom of this exercise program, you can see here's the pulley push downs in here, all as separate items that I could then drag and drop with another exercise to put tricep pulley push downs, and then, you know, skull crushers or whatever else I might be supersetting with this. I can put them in between so that there's a sequence. And then when you finish the sequence of 2 or 3, you may give that person more rest after they've finished that last set, or and you may put 45 seconds of rest in between that and the next one. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, this is a live program, so that I'm going to go ahead and delete these. So I can delete, I can add a new set. All of those things can be put in here. So I'm just simply not going to save this. But before I exit out of here, if you want to drag and drop the exercises, you simply hit the drag and drop, and then it allows you to literally pull this exercise and move it into a different order or a different sequence. So if you find an exercise program that you like, but you would have put it in a different order, go in, change the order, save it to a new name, save it to your community, add an exercise, take out an exercise, increase the intensity percentage, whatever you want to change, go ahead and change. Additionally, what makes it very helpful, if you build a workout and you put this time into it, you have to think about building a workout for a goal. You're not building this workout for one person so that you can give it to Joe, your client that trains on Friday night. You're building this program for a goal that not only Joe can use, but Betty and Sue and Conrad and everybody else that's out there can use it based on their strength test, based on their equipment, and any other changes you want to make to it at an individual level. You can deliver this program for weight loss to many different people. So when I build out the day for Monday, chances are my workout program next Monday and the following Monday are going to be very similar to this. So I can simply hit copy a day, and I can copy this same program to week number 2, session 1, and week number 3, session 1, week number 4, session 1. And so you can see how that would make writing the program significantly easier. So now I just have to go into my session 1 of week number 2, make a couple of modifications to change a few exercises, maybe add a set to an exercise, maybe add additional intensity because I'm now in the third week and I want them to be lifting a little bit heavier that week by a couple percent. And so I can make minor adjustments to that and save it. And so I'm cutting down my building time very significantly by using that copy feature. So Ed, did that answer all of your questions regarding build a workout program?
Once you've done that, can you save that to then use for, so I guess it depends on the strength test initially, but.
Yeah, so you would save this program to all of your users. And so I'm going to exit out of here without saving so that I'm not saving that extra exercises in that program. But so again, Ed, what you want to do is you want to build this program as a 3-day beginner loss program. And everybody in your gym that's looking for a 3-day beginner weight loss program could pull up that program. And when they do their individual strength test, all of the equipment is going to correspond to their strength, but doing the 3 sets of 10 or the 10, 8, 6 or whatever intensity levels that you put in based on each person's individual strength test. So the beauty of the way that our system works is you're writing that program one time. You're putting an extensive amount of brain power and work into really structuring that program that it's going to have a periodization schedule and it's going to keep somebody challenged. And then on the consumer side, any adjustments that you need to make as a trainer, you can still do that and modify that program in any way that you needed to do it, you know, by whatever that client's profile needs to do. So if a weight is too heavy for an exercise, you can adjust it at the consumer level. And then once you adjust it one time, it tracks with that person based on them having an injury as an example, or maybe they have a favorite exercise that they happen to be just substantially stronger on one lift than the quote unquote normal. So now when I pull up a workout program on the consumer side, I'm going to see all of what you just looked at from the complicated side, so that if I had stretching and flexibility, instead of showing each one of them as a separate block, which looks a lot more cumbersome on the back end, you can see that all of my stretching programs just come in one after the other. Now, can I have stretching and then resistance training and then stretching again? Yes. You can put them in any sequence that you want. Our system will look for all of these being matching. And so if all of these, and so you can see here is a good example, actually. I have resistance training, and then I have a dynamic functional movement exercise, and then I go back to resistance training. And so you can see how that works, where you can put anything in any sequence that you want. And going back to our earlier conversation, if I wanted somebody to just do a boot camp video and I wanted them to be, you know, following just one video, they would just simply come in, they would see the one video. Instead of this being an 8-second video, they would see a 30-minute video, and if they wanted to watch it on their television, they could. And you can have whatever description that you want for your 30-minute or 60-minute boot camp just as easily as one exercise. And so when you would go in and build that workout program, the only exercise that you would have, or the only activity that you would have in that day, is the one 30-minute video. So when a client comes in, now they're going in to change workout. They're going in and picking the workout for the first time, or they have a workout program and they want to change it to something else. They simply go through the PAR-Q. They go into the fitness and weight loss. They go into the fat loss and tone. They go into how many days a week that they want to work out. And then they go into what day split that they wanted to work out in. And you can see here's all the different programs that this client can choose for 3 days a week, fat loss and tone under general fitness and weight loss. So there's 30-minute programs, there's 40-minute programs, and there's beginner, home programs, intermediate, advanced, dynamic maintenance. All of those programs are options for those category choices. And so the more options that you have in there that are unique to you, and when you label them, you can make them unique to you. So if I wanted to do fat loss and tone by Latif or fat loss and tone by Caleb, I can customize those programs, know that it's my program. My clients can know that's my program. And then when they get in here and they have 7 selections, they know exactly which one to pick. And you just simply do that in your name of your program. Any questions on that? Did that answer all your questions, Ed?
That's a really big help. When you pick say a weight loss program, Don, do any of yours state the entity that created that? I know you've got a lot of credits, but are any of them spelled out?
Yeah, we haven't. We have all the data that we've collected, and we're going to make in parentheses details. And when you click on details, it'll give you a description of that program. We haven't done that yet, but that is one of the things on our very long list of things that we still want to get done. But there will be a description capability that you can click on a link and it'll bring on a pop-up, and it'll talk about who the author was and what the program is going to do for you.
I think that's a great future item, because you have so many credits, really. You've done so much research that to show that, I think it just lends a lot of credibility.
Sure. And then it'll also give you the ability for people to be able to, promote their own programs as well.
And I'm thinking too about a normal, a gym member that hasn't, someone who hasn't worked out a lot or doesn't know what to do. Given the circuit training equipment that's out there now, where they have several, typically several levels of resistance training that you can set yourself, it almost seems like you could you could just name the pieces, the circuit that you want the people to use, the individual pieces, and then just basically let them, do their own weight setting rather than.
Yeah, you can do that. And if you build a program in our system and they never perform a strength test, then they can do their own weights. But it's substantially easier if a trainer would work with a client one time and do a strength test with them. Then it tells you, well, you need to put 45 pounds in the pin in your tricep extension. And so it is extremely helpful to just doing a upper body, lower body, and abdominal test, and then having it spell out what's there.
Right. I mean, ideally, that's probably an initial half hour, right, with a client. Would you say a half hour?
Yes. Yeah. And so when you get a new client coming in, you just go through here's our circuit equipment, and here's how the strength test works, and you build it out where you do the strength test with them in that first visit, and then they can pretty much go on their own from there on.
Right.
Hey, Don, back to what
Yep.
back to what Ed was saying about the contributors, and where we could find those names of the numerous folks that have put countless hours into making this a reality. Is there a list that you might provide that we can talk from about the specialists involved with, the experts that have been involved with putting this together? Of course, Ed's name at the top.
Thanks, but I've seen, Don, you have a very impressive list that you've drawn from, but no, I haven't contributed anything.
So did I stomp Don?
I heard you. I don't know if Don did.
Yeah. Ed, it looks
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
I think I might have accidentally muted myself there. So my answer to your question is we don't have anything with all the different authors that are available, but when we do complete that, please piece that I was talking about earlier where you had a details and then you had an author. We intended on having the author's clickable links that went to the trainer's profile. So if Latif wrote a workout program and he's in there as an author, there would be a link in there and you'd be able to click on it, and when it go to Latif's trainer page, and so then you could read all about Latif or Steve Watterson or Rob Graff or any of the other people that have written these programs or co-written the programs, because a lot of the programs that Rob Graff has put in here were co-written with Steve Watterson, the strength coach of the Tennessee Titans. So those two together, you've got a strength coach, Texas A&M, Detroit Lions, and NFL Tennessee Titans, all writing football programs. So it's pretty extensive qualifications there.
Yeah, and those I was looking more for the broader picture, and not the individual, the program picture of the experts early on, the nutritionists that are behind, that have been involved through the years.
Like a biography of each one.
That would be a very long list, but we probably should have that available, that people can see how all of this stuff arrived to get to this point. But
Don, I swear you showed me a list once. It was very impressive. You know what am I thinking of?
Yeah, I mean that was years and years and years ago. That list was back with the Fitness Insight days. But yeah, we've had a lot of very good contributors that put in information to the system, and these days we have numerous registered dietitians and naturopathic dietitians and professional strength coaches and chiropractors, and there's the list is getting more and more and more extensive as we go. And then a lot of people, even the people that we work with, like Mark Sullivan, is built tremendous amount of programs in his days, and others that are clients that have contributed programs. Some of them are pretty amazing in what they've accomplished in their own world. Anyway, there was something that I was supposed to show you when I got to the consumer view, and like I was hoping I wouldn't do. I don't remember what that was. Do you recall that, Ed? Anybody?
No.
I know there was something that I was going to show you when I got to the consumer side. I do know that one of the things that I was going to show you, and this may have been it, is that if somebody has difficulty, that this is too heavy or it's way too easy, too light, the last, what we call work set of any of the exercises will come in with a little edit button. If you click the edit button and you wanted to change this to 75 pounds or 85 pounds because this was just way too light for this person, when you make that change, it stores it in this data file that this individual is 8% stronger or weaker for that particular movement. And so the next time that this exercise comes up, it's going to come up with those heavier weights. And it'll track with the periodization schedule of that new revised weight amount for that exercise. All right, so that covers the workout programs, how to build a workout program, how to put a 30-minute video into the workout program. Is there any other questions on the workout before we shift over to the nutrition?
Hey, Don, can you go over what happens on the member side when the equipment that the trainer populated into the program isn't available to that client?
Okay, and that was actually reminds me of what we were talking about. So if a client, I got mute. I think I got the. All right, so if a person 5 states away from you, is what we were talking about, doesn't have the piece of equipment that you used as the recommended, they can click on the edit button below the video, and people will obviously get used to that being an edit button, and they can change to an alternative exercise. and it's going to give you all of the exercises that would work that same basic muscle. And so if I wanted to change that to a different exercise, then it's going to give me, let me pick one that's going to give me a better list here. It'll give you 1 or 12 different equipment brands that can perform that same exercise. And I happen to pick an exercise that doesn't have a lot of equipment options that would work with it. Let me see if there's something that's maybe a little bit better here. But it will give you all of the options that you can pick from based on the exercise that they selected. Here's a couple more at least. And then the ones that you have in your facility show up marked with the asterisks. And so they'll show up inside of the list where somebody is working out at your facility, they know which ones to pick that they can choose. So if you have 3 different exercise options for chest press, they can pick the Olympic barbell, the dumbbells, the hammer strength chest press, and the light fitness chest press. And they can pick whichever one is their favorite that will then go into their program as their workout program, their exercise equipment. So that was the question that we had talked about earlier that I did finally remember. And your question to add to that, Robert, was what?
Oh, no, I was just reminding you what you forgot to bring up.
Okay, so that did answer that question for you then. So you can, if you don't have the equipment, if you're not working out in that gym, you can still do the workout program that person wrote. And if their recommended equipment is not available to you, you can pick another one that's going to work the same muscle group.
Gotcha.
All right, anything else on the workout? And we're getting very, very close to an hour. There's no way that I'm going to be able to go into a full, how do you build a nutrition plan and how do you do all of the picking recipes. So why don't I plan on doing that, and I will make that the focus for Tuesday's meeting. Not only how to build a plan, but how to build a recipe, how to add food items, how to build meals, how to create favorites, how to use food tags. And I'll do a very, very in-depth presentation on that for Tuesday. This is going to be a great video for anyone who wanted to know how to do a workout program, and I'll make sure that I get this sent out to everybody because we went into a substantial amount of detail today on the workouts. And we'll do the nutrition on Tuesday. So is there any other questions that people have that regarding the workout, or any other questions on anything else that we can answer real quick in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes here? Anything else?
Well, I have a quick question.
Okay.
You had mentioned, I think it was two or three meetings ago, about workout videos.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what we're discussing. And does that workout video, do you know already how many calories a particular workout video will burn?
I'm sorry,
there's so many different workout videos out there.
Are you talking about like a boot camp video or your individual exercise video?
Like a boot camp video, or say the PX or the
P90X. Yeah, I don't have P90X videos in here because they're not ours.
Right.
That's owned by Beachbody.
Right.
So what I was talking about and what Latif was interested in is he teaches boot camps. So he wanted to videotape himself doing the boot camp and then put that in as an activity, which you can do. And so if you're wanting to get a 30-minute video in here, you would be producing it yourself and shoot the video, put your phone or the video camera on a tripod and record 20 minutes or 30 minutes. If you're actually performing it in a class would be the ideal. And hopefully you can get yourself mic'd so that you can clearly hear you talking about how many repetitions and watch this and watch that type of thing. but you're basically going to be producing your own custom P90X video and then putting it into our system available for all of your users.
Well, say for instance, somebody wanted to add that to their extra activity for the day.
Uh-huh. So what they would be doing is that they would be coming in to change workout plans, and they would be going through the Part Q. Once they get to their choices of activities, they're going to go into the fitness and weight loss. They're going to go into the weight loss and tone. They're going to go into however many days a week that they want to work out, and they're going to pick the sequence of days. Your video, your 30-minute video would show up as one of these choices.
Okay.
So what you would do to have that happen is you would create your 30-minute video as an activity, and you would call it, you know, core workout boot camp, and the next one would be, you know, tricep workout boot camp or arm workout or whatever you wanted to call them, or full body, whatever it is. You would create that as an activity, and then you would put that into a workout program as the sole item, the sole activity in that day. And so when they were to click on this and they were to load this program, the only thing that would show up on Monday is that 30-minute video activity. And on Wednesday, a different 30-minute activity. And so you literally would be creating it, instead of a sequence of exercises, it would be one exercise that you have labeled however you want to call it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Anything else? And I have a request that next Thursday's meeting be an extensive meeting overview on corporate wellness. So that'd be fine with me. I'd be happy to do that. So next Tuesday, we're going to do nutrition. And then Thursday, we'll do corporate wellness.
Sounds good.
Anything else? Any other questions that people want to get a quick answer on?
Good.
Is there anybody that does not care to get this video?
Are you sending it via email?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to everyone's emails. I've been sending the emails. I think that was Bonnie that just asked that question. I've been sending them to Just Got Fit to Robert and Ryan.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have your email. If you can put it in chat real quick, I'll make sure that I send it directly to you.
Thank you.
And I don't know if I have Caleb's video or email address either. So Caleb, if you want to put that into chat right now as well, I'll make sure that I get this sent directly to you.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay. All right, guys. And I got another question here too. That's an interesting one, and I don't know the answer to this. If they own a P90X DVD, can they load it? Probably not. It probably has copyright capabilities on that, where they're trying to get you to buy the CD, and if we made it available for everyone who had a workout program on our system, they probably wouldn't be very happy with us. So
right.
I'm going to guess that that's probably not an option, although you could technically load a P90X video into YouTube and do that, you would probably be sued. So I would not recommend that.
No, not at all. Okay.
And I still don't see your email coming into the chat, Bonnie. So if you wanted to make sure that I get that to you, make sure you hit send. It didn't come in yet.
Show in the folder.
Okay, so in the very bottom of the Zoom, under more, there's a chat option.
I just put it in. I have it sent to everyone, but now let me just send it to you there.
For whatever reason it didn't come through. Maybe it needs to refresh somehow.
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay, but either way, hey, I appreciate everybody's time. It's in there now. It just came through. All right, so next Tuesday is going to be extensive nutrition, and next Thursday is going to be corporate wellness. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Yeah,